That kitchen scale that's on your counter, it's useless when you're stuck at a restaurant. So how do I dial it in? Well, guess what? I bring it everywhere. So let me be blunt. The tools that you buy to stay on track means nothing if they're sitting at home when you actually need them, right? And I learned this the hard way. Earlier in my coaching career, I packed the perfect lunch. I'd set my macros up perfectly. And then I'd end up grabbing random, takeout or snacks at work, right? And I do that because quite frankly, I've left my scale or my shaker bottle or my supplements behind. And then my consistency collapsed the minute that I left the house. Now, I carry all of that stuff with me everywhere I go. I keep a dedicated backpack through Haven Athletic, RIP. They've gone out of business, but great little CrossFit backpack, compartment backpack before the company shut down. But any solid compartment heavy bag will do. Think of your photographer gear bag or something like that. The key is that it's always ready. It's always packed, right? And I think of it kind of like an athlete's travel kit, but for life. So hanging off my Molly strip on the side of it is my Yeti Day Trip lunch bags. Inside of that has electrolytes and vitamins, a couple Yeti containers. I got some of my coffee gear, protein packets, a few backup snacks. It's basically, for me, like a mobile command center for health and performance, right? And here's the point. If I'm heading to a day of coaching, I don't have to wonder whether I can stay on plan. If I need to weigh a quick protein meal at a random cafe or if something gets catered in, sure, I got it. I got my scale, right? If I get stuck in a meeting, I can't get lunch until 3, I got a shaker bottle in there. Boom, I'll make a protein shake. It's not glamorous, but it's a game changer because it keeps me on track. Now, people sometimes laugh when they see me hauling this setup everywhere I go. But remember, when you were a college athlete, you wouldn't show up to practice without your shoes or tape or water or whatever else gear that your position required. This is the same mentality for us, right? Former athletes often struggle because they forget that consistency in the real world demands preparation, right? And it's not just about food. It's about having your electrolytes on a hot day when you end up coaching an extra session outside. It can save your training later. Having a coffee mug means that you don't cave and you buy a $4.95 Starbucks or something like that. And then opting up to get a sugary cake pop or something, right? Even the act of carrying this kit around is a mental cue, right? I'm in control of my choices today. So could you get by without it? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But every time that you rely on chance, you give up a little bit of control. You tell yourself, hey, I'll figure it out. And suddenly you might be 2 to 3 slices into a pizza because that was all that's available, right? So this bag helps me make better decisions. It's a small tactical move that makes an enormous difference in my life. So if you're serious about staying consistent, right, especially as a former athlete used to rely on structured environments, don't just buy the tools, bring them with you where you go. Because your future self will actually thank you when you're standing in a crowded restaurant, scale in hand, quietly hitting your goals while everybody else is guessing.